No, New York, do not fall for this trick. Don't fall for this trick.
So amazing. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Ty Smith.
What is really your Fokios and Fokaramas? I am Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Model Renaissance Man. If you are someone that's been subscribed to my channel for a long time, double check to make sure that you are. But if you are fairly new to the channel, get an idea of what this channel is about. What do? Go to my channel, click on playlist. All these different things I do on this channel. See all these different thumbnails? Those are all different categories of things that I do on this channel, from comedy to cooking to DIY when it comes to fixing cars. There's a lot of things I do on this channel. So check the channel out in its entirety before you subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll find something on here that you like. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys all being here. Follow me on all these platforms you see right here. Don't worry about that spelling right there. It's okay. That's how it's spelled on Rumble. All right, folks. So Eric Adams of New York came out and addressed the crowd concerning the migrant crisis. But the thing is, there's some slight of words and verbiage that's going on here that can completely throw people off. And it's something that a lot of politicians, a lot of people even in church, a lot of people that's supposed, let's just say those that are in leadership position. There are a lot of things that they do that can completely throw you off. And what am I talking about? Switching the focus. Ty, what are you talking about? I'll tell you once y'all hit that thumbs up button. I'm going to wait. Hit that like button. Hit it. What do you mean? Take your mouse and click it. I'm just messing with y'all. Double check and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because YouTube will unsubscribe you from this channel. Ty, we do want to know what you're talking about. I'm getting ready to show y'all, so check this out.
Adams getting a warm reception while saying the city needs to take a tougher stance on immigration. Watch.
Those small numbers that are committing crimes, we need to modify the sanctuary city law that if you commit a felony, a violent act, we should be able to turn you over to ICE and have you deported. It is a right to live in this city, and you should be not committing crimes in our city for doing so.
Seems pretty reasonable to me. Outkick host Tomi Lahren joins us now. Tommy, one of the notable things about this, and this is why people are saying he's changing his tune, is that in 2021 during his campaign, he posted this on Twitter. He said, we should protect our immigrants, period. Yes, New York City will remain a sanctuary city under an Adams administration.
Well, yes, Carly, now he's being inundated. And let's not forget there's an election coming up in November. And that means that Democrats are all vulnerable, even if they're not necessarily on the ballot. Their party is vulnerable due to the illegal immigration crisis / invasion at our southern border. So I think people are giving him a lot of undue credit here for saying something that, as you pointed out, is entirely reasonable and realistic. That shouldn't be an applause line. That should be common sense. If you're leading a city, that those who are not legally allowed to be in your city in the first place should be deported if they commit a crime, and that immigration and customs enforcement should be able to work with local law enforcement to get those people out of the country and out of the city. I mean, my goodness, the fact that this is now getting an applause just shows you how far to the left this nation has moved on the issue of illegal immigration. So I think that people are getting a little bit too excited about this. I expect Democrats in the coming months to pivot on immigration in several instances. I expect that Joe Biden will probably talk about something that he would think would be massive at the State of the Union, because they're scrambling. They have to give the appearance and the perception that they care about the open border without actually caring about the open border. You'll notice that really no Democrats are calling for the border to be closed. They're not really calling for any enforcement at the border. They simply say little things and throw out little breadcrumbs to get an applause line, saying a lot without doing a lot, or doing anything that's really novel or revolutionary. I'm sorry, guys, not a lot of credit from me.
It would have been a lot more helpful if Mayor Adams had done that when he initially entered office, not now when the horse is so far out of the barn, can't get that horse back in. You mentioned elections. Speaking of elections, several squad members are facing competitive primaries in the coming months. Let's put them up on the screen. AOC and Congressman Bowman going to face primary challengers on June 25th. Bowman's one to watch there. AOC could be safe, but Bowman could be in trouble. rival Tlaib and Bush will be on the ballot on August 6th. Pay attention to that Bush race. And Ilhan Omar's primary challenge is going to take place August 13th. Don Samuels, we've had him on the program before. He is one of the individuals going up against her. Is the squad's reign of terror, Tommy, in trouble?
You know, I would like to think that might be the case. And for a couple of them, maybe it might be a little bit closer. But if you look at the fundraising numbers, a lot of them are still raising a lot of money. They obviously have national name ID and recognition. So it's going to be pretty hard to unseat them, no matter how radical their ideas are. A lot of them also that are facing pushback for their maybe anti-Israel comments and sentiment are in areas that might actually not be such a problem for them. Rashida Tlaib being one of those. So I think that unfortunately the squad is going to be alive and well, and I fear that even if they were unseated, there's more radical Democrats where they came from, and unfortunately a lot of these districts are going to keep voting for radical Democrats. It's a sad reality. I wish I could be more optimistic, but unfortunately I think this continues on.
Yeah, and one of the reasons people are asking these questions is because the pro-Israel lobby has millions of dollars and is putting that money towards their primary challengers. Business Insider says in a worst-case scenario for this group, their ranks could be cut in half. But like you said, Tommy, a lot of these people are in solidly blue districts. So it's interesting to talk about, one to follow, but a lot of them seem like they'll be in the safe zone as well. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Now, some people will look at that, and I'm telling you, it's such a slick move that folks do all the time, but people like me don't fall for it. You get up there, what we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and anyone that commits a felony or a crime in New York, we're turning them over to ICE, and we're going to get them and have it to where we're trying to deport them out. Woo! That's what we're talking about, Mayor, because you know what? Everybody mind what it does. What does it do? Your mind will go to the issue that he's addressing. The person being shot at in New York by the 15-year-old and those lunatics that jumped those two police officers, kicking them, stomping on them, and all that. Your mind instantly goes to that. Yeah, that means if anybody committed a crime in New York, yeah, that's what we talking about, Mayor Adams. Pump the brakes a little bit. Hold on, time out. Well, what about us being a sanctuary city, period, Mayor Adams? What about that? Ooh, wait a minute, time out. So we're not going to talk about you giving them debit cards and all that? You telling them that, hey, we're going to give y'all money to the extent to where we don't need to see no ID, no justification. We don't need no verification. We don't need anything like that. But we're going to give it to you anyway because you look like you may sound like an immigrant or a migrant or an asylum seeker or an illegal. So y'all can go get y'all money where y'all can take this money that we're giving you and you can go spend and buy food that's accustomed to your culture. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Slick move right there. And this is what a lot of politicians do, folks. See, you give them 10 problems, and then you address one problem. You make that one problem a big deal. That way it can seem like, oh, he's really doing something about this now. They still have people that's going to be flooding into New York. They're giving them this money. They're staying in hotels for free. They are kicking your fellow American brothers and sisters out on the streets so they can house these illegals, these immigrants, these asylum seekers, these migrants. They are shutting down some of your schools, having your kids stay at home. That's going to interrupt your flow now. Now, you don't know, are you going to be able to go to work? Is it even legal for you to leave that child at home to go to school? We don't know. Is your child even going to be watched by Big Daddy government that's in the internet? We just do not know. Is your child even going to be paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing in school? Should you have to leave them depending on what the age they are? All these things are kicking in right now, folks, and a lot of folks are not paying those things I just named off any attention. Why? Because now, ooh, yes, if anybody committed crime, they should be turned over to ISIS, and then they should be deported out of here. That's one thing, y'all. But the biggest issue y'all have right now is this. Would there be any crime if they weren't there? Well, that's because Governor Abbott of Texas, you're the one that said that you're a sanctuary city. You are the one that's allowing them to come into the city. And then on top of that, to give them that money, woo, woo, woo. I like to know, my brothers and sisters, I'm talking about skin, since y'all like to do that a lot, that are liberal or on the Democratic black men and women, those of you that have the edge to vote, I want to know, what do y'all think of that? What do you think of them treating these migrants, these immigrants, these asylum seekers, these illegals better than they treating you? Some of y'all know y'all mom are struggling. I'm just being real. If you come from a single parent home, be a man or a woman, you know that your parents are struggling depending on what it is that they do. Now, can you imagine how much of a life-changing, just a little bit of a life-changing it would be for them to drop y'all that $10,000? Could you imagine how much of a life-changer it would be for some of you to stay in some of the most disgusting areas in New York? Low income areas. Can you imagine what it'd be if they put y'all in a hotel for free and gave y'all $10,000 while you're able to maintain your job? You will be able to stack up so much money. That's what they don't want to happen. Why? Because they want you to be dependent on the government. Plain and simple. You look at it like, man, they're giving them that much money. You know what? I know that does sound like a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen, which it is, but that's not a lot of money to a person if that's all they're going to get. Now, I don't know what they're going to be getting monthly, whatever like that, but all I know is that brothers and sisters that are black, whatever you want to call it, the black community, they putting them in the same boat they're going to put y'all. It's going to have the same psychological effect. They're training them to rely on the government so long as you keep on voting for them. Mark my words, New York is trying to make these people legal to where they can vote anyway. I mean, during COVID, New York was like trying to bring people in from across seas because a lot of brothers and sisters, I'm talking about Americans right now. I'm not talking color. A lot of our fellow American brothers and sisters that's in the medical field, a lot of them were not taking the Fauci, ouchie, hokey pokey clot shot. So they were willing to say, hey, well, we're going to take anybody from different countries to come in. They only got to show us. You don't have to have no, they had to have a license, but they didn't have to get the license of that state because of the COVID emergency. This is what they felt about y'all. Anyway, y'all, do me a favor right now. Double check and make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel. If you are new to me and watching this, go ahead and give it a subscribe, but make sure you check out my channel in its entirety like I told you in the intro. Go to the playlist, check that all out. Everybody else that's been with me and rocking with me, leaving comments, I really, really appreciate that. You guys are doing the work by getting the word out there. This channel is growing, and it's all because of you. It's because you guys are putting the word out there, because YouTube definitely isn't. They definitely don't want nobody like me getting out there and telling stories like I'm doing right now. They don't want that, so I really appreciate you guys for doing that. But also, you guys got the cell phones, right? Everybody have a cell phone. I don't know how many contacts you have in your cell phone. Let at least one person today know about this channel and encourage them to subscribe to this channel. I will be very honored and grateful that you guys did that, all right? I want to hear what you guys got to say on this one. You think the mayor threw that little slick little move in there? Y'all agree with me on that? If you don't, hey, I want to hear it too. Like, well, Ty, actually, I see it this way. I like when people do things like that because I don't want people to see things the only way I see it. You guys might see it from a different perspective that I do, and I like to hear that. So let's hear what y'all got to say in the comment section, folks. We'll keep this thing going. I am Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.